A teacher's path to tyranny. Pol Pot's early years. Saloth Sa, later known as Pol Pot, began his life as a farmer's son in rural Cambodia in 1925. His upbringing was relatively comfortable and he received an education, even spending time in France. This exposure to the complexities of politics and ideology would later shape his worldview. Pol Pot's early years offered no hint of the brutality that would come to define him. He was a student drawn to ideas and seemingly an unlikely candidate for the horrors he would unleash. However, the seeds of radicalism were sown during his time in Paris. He encountered Marxist-Leninist thought and became involved with communist circles. These experiences deeply influenced Pol Pot, pushing him towards a path of revolution. The stark contrast between the wealth he observed in France and the poverty of his homeland fueled his resentment and desire for radical change. The seeds of revolution embracing communism and rebellion. Upon returning to Cambodia, Pol Pot joined the clandestine Khmer People's Revolutionary Party, or KPRP. The KPRP, a communist movement, sought to overthrow the Cambodian government. Pol Pot quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating charisma and ruthlessness. His dedication to the cause was absolute, and he soon became a leading figure in the movement. Cambodia during this period was in a state of turmoil. The Vietnam War had spilled over its borders, destabilizing the region and creating an opportunity for the KPRP to exploit. Pol Pot, capitalizing on the chaos, rallied support for the communist cause. He promised a utopian vision of an agrarian society, free from foreign influence and class divisions. This message resonated with many in rural Cambodia who were disillusioned with the existing government and the ravages of war. Year Zero, the Khmer Rouge's reign of terror, begins. In 1975, the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, seized control of Cambodia. This marked the beginning of what is now known as the Cambodian Genocide. Pol Pot's vision of Year Zero was implemented with terrifying efficiency. Cities were emptied, intellectuals and professionals were targeted, and the entire population was forced into labor camps in the countryside. The Khmer Rouge's ideology was a toxic mix of extreme Maoism, xenophobia, and paranoia. Anyone deemed an enemy of the revolution, even based on the slightest suspicion, was eliminated. This included anyone associated with the former government, intellectuals, monks, ethnic minorities, and even those deemed insufficiently loyal within the Khmer Rouge's own ranks. Legacy of Angkar echoes of genocide in the killing fields. Under Pol Pot's rule, Cambodia was transformed into a vast prison camp. The regime known as Angkar, the organization, controlled every aspect of life. Forced labor, starvation, disease and executions were commonplace. The killing fields, mass graves where millions were murdered, stand as a chilling testament to the horrors of this period. Tuol Sleng, a former high school converted into a torture prison, became a symbol of the regime's barbarity. The world watched in horror as reports of the atrocities emerged. The international community, however, was slow to respond, and the genocide continued unabated for years. The Khmer Rouge's reign of terror finally ended in 1979 when Vietnam invaded Cambodia and drove the regime from power. Pol Pot fled into hiding, eventually dying in 1998 while under house arrest by a faction of the Khmer Rouge.